inFAMOUS Island 2, the first mission for Island 2, hard difficulty, playing with good karma for nextgenwalkthroughs.com.
Are you going to find any Ninja Turtles in these sewers?
No, and no Pizza Hut advertisements either. They're coming out with a new remake of the original Turtles arcade game that had the Pizza Hut advertisements on the wall. And from the trailers I've seen of it, they don't have the Pizza Hut advertisements on it anymore.
Huh.
Or even the Hut, which is what it's called officially these days.
What?
They changed their name.
To the Hut?
The Hut. So it's more extreme.
Pizza the Hut?
Exactly.
Oh, God. I really didn't think I could hate Pizza Hut any more than I do. Because I hate Pizza Hut. It's my least favorite pizza chain.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah. I like it, but that's just because that's the first pizza I ever had.
Yeah.
And so, kind of grew up on it, and I got that sweet tooth for it now.
I had
Comfort
lots of Little Caesars growing up. Pizza. It was
they went out of business.
2 for $8.99.
Or quasi out of business.
Quasi, because they're still the fucking best. Hot and ready, $5. Can't beat it. So.
Hot and ready.
Yeah.
I can make all sorts of sexual jokes right now.
You could.
I could, but I won't.
Good.
Anyway. So, I talked about before how I didn't like how playing through the second time in this game, it takes a little bit to get the upgrades that make it a lot faster to run through the city. But I just got one of the first mission of the second island, you get a really important upgrade that makes traveling around the city a lot easier. It's kind of they're called static thrusters, and they help you kind of glide through the air.
Not as far as Prototype?
Not nearly as far as Prototype. And as I'm recording this right now, I'm trying to figure out if there's a turbo button or something, because I just finished playing through Prototype.
Yeah.
And I felt so slow running through this game. I was like, I gotta be doing something wrong. So before this, I was checking all the controller settings, making sure I wasn't forgetting something. And
yeah.
But no, I'm going as fast as I can. There's no sprint button.
Well, yeah. It's a much slower game than Prototype.
It is a much slower game, but it's kind of like... Oh, what's a good comparison? Warming up in the batter's box with a donut on the bat. And then when you get up to the plate, you swing so much faster.
Yeah.
And then you put the donut back on, and you feel like it's 1,000,000 pounds.
Yeah.
That's what inFAMOUS feels like right now. Putting the donut back on the bat.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't believe I'm this weak.
Yeah.
But once you get back in the swing of it, it's actually pretty fun. Actually pretty fun. This game is great. I think I like this a lot more than Prototype.
For the story or the gameplay? Or
The gameplay. It's... I can go on a 10-minute rant about this, but I don't know. Prototype is super simple to just do all sorts of crazy shit. And this game requires a lot of aiming and kind of pacing yourself. Which, I don't know, at times can be frustrating, and at times it's really satisfying to be able to, snipe people instead of just pressing the Y button to stab the ground and have claws pop out of it.
Yeah.
But
so less chaos?
Less chaos. Much slower. But still a lot of fun. This game looks a lot better, though. inFAMOUS looks a lot better than Prototype.
Did you play both in HD or SD? Or?
I played both in SD.
So you had an equal basis for comparison.
Right.
Same TV.
Maybe not. Okay, I think inFAMOUS looks better, but it's not necessarily the polygon count that makes inFAMOUS look better. It's the detail in the environment that makes
the art.
Right. Well, running up the side of a building in Prototype, it's super repetitive. It's the same square, boring, flat windows over and over again. Where every inch of the city in inFAMOUS is super detailed. But then it's kind of boring to climb up the same building over and over again in Infamous, when in Prototype you can just sprint up the side of a building. You just go flying up. Oh, we'll talk about this on the podcast that we record later, but did you see the zero punctuation review of this and Prototype?
No.
Oh, you need to check it out.
I'll watch it before we podcast.
Okay, cool. Yeah, check it out for the viewers out there. Zero punctuation. It's titled Prototype, the review, but in the review he basically just does verses of Infamous versus Prototype. And at the end of the review, he gives them a tie. And he says to the developers of the game, send in a Photoshop of the opposite game's main character in women's lingerie, and whoever has the best Photoshop wins.
Cool.
And both developers did it.
Cole.
That's awesome.
You
Yeah,
remember
so
Dwight?
check that out.
Just ran into his sister, and she thinks he's in some kind of trouble. Wants to know if you'll look for him.
Dwight, didn't that guy steal your car and strip it down for parts?
Yeah, he was a real tool. But, you know, I've dug his sister for a real long time now, and, you'd be doing me a real solid with this one.
And you think if I find Dwight, she'll reward you?
Well, hell, it's not like I can do anything from here. She says Dwight was hanging around the Chummy Chicken the last time they talked, and guess he was working over there. That might be a good place for you to start.